I'm Shay Russell for mining.com.au, and joining me today is Matthew Boys, the Executive Director of Solis Minerals. Matthew, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Shay. Thanks for the time. How are you?
Good, thank you. Now, Matthew, the company's decided to reprioritise their copper projects, which I'm thrilled to hear because I've been talking about the benefits of copper since 2019. Tell me, what brought this decision on?
Yeah, Shay, I think really focusing on copper now has become a priority for us, obviously, because of the attention the metal's been seeking has been getting over the last 3 to 4 months. We do have a really good package of properties in Western Peru along the coastal belt. We've got about 40,000 hectares now, and we're finally getting to the point where we've got probably 3 to 4 of those projects we could potentially be drilling by the end of the year. So it's looking like we can get some serious traction on those assets. Obviously, with the lithium in Brazil at the moment, that's not it's not getting as much focus as what we would have hoped with the price coming back. We still are looking at Brazil, obviously, but copper is what's going to be the focus for the next 6 to 12 months, and hopefully with the assets that we've got, with the geophysical targets we've already developed, with the preliminary work we've done on those assets, it's going to be an interesting 6 to 12 months.
Now, you have 2 projects in the Peru region, and I'm not going to try and get my Bogan accent to pronounce them. Tell me, A, what are they called for everybody listening so they don't have to listen to it come from my mouth?
Yeah, okay. The main areas we've got is an area called Ilo Norte, Chancho al Palo, which basically just means pig on a stick, if that sort of gives you, I'm not sure why. And then we have Ilo Este, which is East Ilo, which is the south, and then we've got a Cinto project, which is closer to the actual Cordillera, which is the Andes belt, the more known belt. But in the coastal region, where we picked up most of our assets, we've also picked a very large package of ground which sits between Ilo Norte and Ilo Este, and that is ex-Anaconda ground, which looks very, very prospective as well. So almost 35,000 hectares of ground sitting on that western edge, and then the Cinto and other projects which are closer to the actual original sort of Andes area, and basically it's almost a contiguous belt now of projects. So it's a very large land package.
What stage of exploration are these projects at? Because that's obviously quite an extensive amount of ground to cover.
It is a big amount of ground to cover. Yes, some of them have previously been drilled, hence the lead time in getting new environmental access permits for them, because the way Peru works is a staged system, and so the more antiquated, the more work you've done, then the next step of environmental approvals is a bit more drawn out than the first one. So we're at one of them, Ilo Norte and Ilo Este, have both been previously drilled. I think in different anomalies, not new anomalies that we've defined from geophysical work done recently. The Anaconda ground, or the ex-Anaconda ground, which is going to be the ground that we picked up in the center of the Ilo Este package, that hasn't been drilled that we know of, so that's very early stage. But most of the assets, we do have geophysical work done on them, so there are geophysical targets. So we have walk-up drill targets ready for us, and hopefully by the end of this fourth quarter of this year, we'll start drilling on some of them.
Now, I know you said the focus isn't on your lithium project, but do you intend to keep the project, and are there any sort of next steps that you'll be taking on that lithium project in Brazil for the moment?
Yeah, for sure. I think Borborema is not finished yet by any stretch of the imagination, and we'll continue to do just ground reconnaissance and geophysical work on those assets to try and do some target development. But we are really looking at something a bit more, I guess, walk-up drill sort of target stage. And so the company's constantly reviewing assets in Brazil for purchase. You can see our sister company or parent company, Latin Resources, has done very well in Minas Gerais, and to try and emulate that is really one of the objectives of Solis. So looking in areas, and the longer we are in Brazil, the longer you get an understanding of where you need to be. And I think Minas Gerais and that area is obviously where the most success has been had by exploration companies over the last several years, and probably is going to be the focus of Solis as well. Now, it doesn't mean it's got any easy to pick up land with lithium prices coming back in Brazil, because it's still very competitive. But I still think we're in a good position to be able to do something in the near term.
Now, Matthew, you've got a lot of ground under your belt right now. Tell me, what news flow can investors expect to see over the next couple of months?
Right. Look, I think the main source of news flow will be exploration activity from Peru, and then anything that we can actually define, because anything we can define from new acquisitions out of Brazil. I think that's really where we'll probably be generating the most news flow in the coming months. But copper really is going to be our primary focus in the next few months, and hopefully updates on EIAs, updates on drilling permits, and updates on any geophysical work or any surface geochem work that we're able to get done in Peru over the next few months will be where we'll be focusing our attention.
Listen, Matthew, I want to say thank you very much for giving us a rundown of what's happening with Solis Minerals, and please jump back on any time to talk about copper. I do love to chat about that metal. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Shay. It's been a pleasure.